Okay, now
Okay.
now we're good.
Right.
I should probably open up that page. So hello. If this is for the future. This is like a sort
Right.
of part recording. Hello everyone. Welcome. I'm talking with the eminent Laura Crone. Crone? That is how I
Yeah.
pronounce it, correct?
Yeah, that's
Okay,
right.
yeah. Good, good, good. All right. So how you doing?
I'm good. Yeah. Here, my purple lighting.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Am
I
I
mean,
left tube now with my colored lights?
right. I'm well, you should probably have like another color on the other side, but that's
Right.
fine. You're
Right.
halfway there.
Yeah.
Um, how's the weather right now in California?
The weather in California is lovely. The sun is in the process of going down right now, so it's gonna get a little chilly, but it was like 78 and sunny and gorgeous today.
Fuck you. All
I
right.
know,
Uh,
sorry.
yeah,
I
Chicago.
want a I want to give that to everyone. If I could do one thing, I would just give yeah, take
Thank.
it. There you go.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, I
Oh.
have it. Okay. Wow. Shit. I guess I should ask a question now. So, shit. I mean, you're like, fuck. You're so good. I know I
What?
say it all the time, but like, that's question number one. You're so good. Good job. Um, yeah.
Thank you, I guess is the answer to that question.
Good. Okay. Cool. Good. I'm glad. Accept that. So I guess to go semi chronologically with these questions.
Sure.
So like you had like you have a theater background.
Yeah.
Like what I guess like did you do plays in like high school, middle school? Like how like what's your history with, theater and stuff?
Yeah. So I'm trying to think when the first I guess I was in kindergarten the first time I took a class. Yeah, I brought home my school had like this, they called it the after school discovery program.
Mhm.
And there were like a bunch of different things you could do. And I brought home the flyer and I was like an enthusiastic kid. So I was just like, I just want to do something. I probably told my parents I wanted to do like everything in the brochure. So they
Yeah.
picked something for me and they picked acting classes. And like I thought about that for a long time as like something that was like, oh wow, my parents like accidentally influenced my destiny by just like picking something at random.
Well, wasn't your dad a performer? You say that in your Hitchhiker's
Yeah,
Guide video. Yeah.
yeah, my dad is a performer.
Yeah.
Yeah, although realistically, I think there were also magic classes as an option. So if he were like trying to get me in his footsteps, that's probably where he would have sent me.
Oh, does he?
No,
Okay, so he does like magic and stuff, or
yeah. Well, he doesn't do magic so much anymore. He so ready for this? Ready? Okay. My dad is a ventriloquist.
what?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, wait, okay. Well, like, what kind of, I guess, puppets or dummies or what does he use?
He's got a couple of them. I guess the main ones are Eugene, who's a dummy who is like a tech support nerd. Um, Jose, who is like this fuzzy orange, I don't even know what.
Mhm.
Yeah, looks like a Muppet of some kind.
Yeah,
Yeah. And then there's Wilmer and Edna, who are like an older couple.
couple. Okay, yeah, you gotta
Yeah.
you gotta have the old couple. The
Yeah, I think those are like the main ones. There have been other ones in and out, but I think those are kind of the main ones. Yeah.
wow, I've never heard of. I mean, like obviously they exist. But
Right.
like, what's it like growing up in that? No, I don't want to dwell on that. I mean, unless you want to go into it, we can go into it later. Uh,
Yeah, sure.
but yeah, so backing up,
Yeah.
they picked acting for you.
Oh, right. Yeah. Which is not as random as it seemed to me when I thought about that as like my actor origin story when I
Yeah.
was in like high school. Because what I finally realized was like when I was like in preschool, like I was just always pretending to be somebody else. Like I was always like waking up in the morning and being like, today I'm well, this my sister and I actually used to we would get up every single morning and argue about who was Princess Jasmine that day.
That day, like you
Yeah,
switched?
that day,
Okay.
that
Yeah.
day, that day. We would switch. This is actually an anecdote that got cut from the Swan Princess video because I couldn't figure out how to like exactly make it not just like a total digression.
Hmm.
But we would argue every day about who was Princess Jasmine and who was Aladdin. Because like Aladdin was like second prize. If you couldn't be Jasmine, okay, you can be Aladdin. And then
What
we
about
decided
the carpet or like genie? I feel like that's
what
probably
right,
second tier. Yeah.
right.
Okay.
So our dad was the genie,
Wow, okay.
and our dog was Raja, and then my mom still like I think she's kind of gotten over it, but I don't think it was actually not a grudge for a long time that we said she was Abu.
Abu's fine. I don't know. I
It's
guess yeah.
fine. But yeah, I think that was honestly like my first awareness of like the trope of like dead moms in fairy tales because like we didn't have a mom to make our mom be,
Right.
and she was like salty that like there like the best we could do for our mom was like a talking monkey or
At
like
least
who
you
doesn't
didn't
even talk.
go
Yeah.
Jafar or something, you know?
Right. Right. No, we loved her. We still love her. Yeah.
But yeah, what was that? Is that the end of the acting story or?
Oh, yeah. No, that was the end of the origin, like the very beginnings of the origin story. Yeah, so then I was always taking classes until I was old enough to like actually have the school plays in middle school and high school. And then I got a whole ass bachelor's degree, as Mayleets would say.
Mhm.
And then I was too broke to continue living in New York, and so I moved back to Ohio and did a bunch of like community and semi-pro theater there.
Mhm. Okay. So, like, what did is because I mean, you clearly have a very good grasp of media. I guess, like like sort of obviously a lot of your stuff has like a feminist lens to it.
Right, yeah.
But just sort of media criticism and like analysis and stuff. Like, did that come into play in college for you, or like because I don't know, I'm an
Mhm.
English major. I don't know anything about
Right.
theater. So like, did that come into play? Like, did you write stuff like that in college, or?
Yeah, I did. I guess one of my papers for my like stupid freshman essay writing class was literally called writing the essay. It was the worst thing.
Mhm.
And if you were in the art school, they made you take it for a whole year. Everyone else got to just take it for a semester, but we had to do a whole year for some reason.
I mean, I guess it's good to know to understand art. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good. I think the some reason was probably that they figured we wouldn't be writing anything else because we were busy off on our BFA,
Right.
BFA tracks.
Mhm.
Yeah, but like the second essay I wrote for that class was on Milk. Um,
The film.
the film Milk. Yes. No, it was about Milk,
The product.
the dairy product. Yeah. uh, yeah. And I talked that. Yeah, I think that was probably like the closest to what I do now. But I also I mean, I had an interest in it like recreationally from before that. Um, I used to like
From what?
write movie reviews and
Whoa!
notes on Facebook.
Oh no!
Back when those were a thing.
Yeah,
Those are still around actually,
they are.
probably. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
did anyone read? Like, did your friends read them? Like,
Yeah, they did actually. I was actually just thinking about like one of my high school friends who I almost need to like give a call and say like thank you for like helping me figure out how interested in this I am because it was always just kind of like no one wanted to see movies with me because if we talked about them afterwards, like I wouldn't be able to be like, oh yeah, I liked it, or oh no, I didn't. It would be just like, well, here's this and this and this and
yeah,
this, and just go crazy. I still like I think I've learned to control it a little bit, but like I don't know when people are asking me like what the appropriate answer is a lot of the time.
I wish I had more people like that to like, because whenever I go to a movie, most of the time, a lot of times it'll just be, we'll be like, yeah, it was okay. And we go on with our day. And
Right.
it's like, no, I want that to have been the start of something, not just an
Yeah.
experience where I sat in the dark staring for 2 hours and then it's like, all right,
Right.
now what do we do next? You know, like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
So
Totally.
I,
And
I wish I had that type of person. So yeah.
yeah. I didn't for a long time. And then I got really lucky that like my senior year of high school, I finally connected with this guy who had been, our names were right next to each other in the alphabet. So we had been at lockers right next to each other for 4 years and we like never spoke. And then finally, like through circumstances, like became mutual friends. Like at the very end of senior year. And like we had, I think Shutter Island was the first one that like got it going. I don't know why.
Did
Like I had
you like Shutter Island, or do you guys like?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I loved it. I didn't know it was a book, and I had written one of my stupid Facebook reviews, and he like then got back at me with like, "Oh yeah, I agree about this," and going on with the conversation, and then being like, "Oh, and it's a book too." So we talked about Shutter Island a lot, and then the killer was that was the summer that Inception came out, and like it was just a thing for like a straight year that we were just constantly going back and forth about like things about Shutter Island and like, or no, sorry, Inception. Shutter
Mhm.
Island was a pretty quick conversation, but like, oh yeah, I saw Inception again for the fifth time, and now here's the other thing I'm thinking about now. Yeah, and it really like I think that made me sort of start to feel like I don't know, maybe this like is a thing that isn't just annoying to everybody.
Right. Yeah. Um, but so did you watch like YouTube videos about movies before in like high school? And like, I don't know how much older you are than me. I'm not going to ask that, but
Oh.
unless you don't care to tell me how old you are.
There you go. I mean, Inception came out the summer after my senior year of high school, if that puts me somewhere. I'm
Okay.
27.
Okay. I'm 23.
Yeah.
So 4
Okay.
years. That's not so bad.
Yeah. That's not
Um,
bad.
so yeah, did you watch like YouTube? Like, I don't know. I mean, I feel like you probably watch Lindsay Ellis. I feel like you might have name dropped her at one point, or
Oh, yeah.
so I don't know if you were like into like, you know, like that guy with the glasses at any point, or I don't know who else there
No.
was, or just Roger Ebert or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I did, like, I guess it's like I obsessively read all the movie reviews in my local newspaper.
Okay.
Um, uh, but no, I didn't get into that side of YouTube until very recently. It was like a little less than 2 years ago. Um, so
Damn.
like all of these, yeah, I know, right?
What the fuck? You can't just do that. You can't just get in this game so recently and be so good at it.
I mean, I was doing it. I just wasn't doing it with YouTube, I guess. Yeah. And
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I was paying attention to YouTube, but like I didn't know about that part of YouTube.
Right.
Yeah, I was watching like Vlog Brothers. I've been a nerd fighter, whatever, since
Mhm.
2008. So like I've been on YouTube. I just like didn't know that this thing existed, or I would have been so into it
Right.
forever ago.
I guess
Um,
like as a young boy, I had like angry video game nerd, which obviously is
mhm.
like different, but you know, it's like the idea of like someone talking about a piece of media, having some
Yeah.
insights. I don't know if he really has much to say, but you
But
know,
he's
it's like
trying. Yeah, it's a
right.
gateway drug, at least.
It is, yes, exactly. It was the gateway drug. So I don't know like what yours would have been, if you had one, if you could point.
Yeah. No, I can't. It was a very specific moment that it was like a little less than 2 years ago. My friend Jacob, I was hanging out with him and he was like pulled out his computer and was like, I'm gonna show you something. And I was a little bit like, oh God. But it was the Marvel Symphonic Universe,
Okay.
ever
Oh
famous
wow.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um and I mean, it was over, and I immediately had like 65 things to say about it. And we had a big long conversation about music and Marvel. And then, like, the next day, I was like sitting at home, like eating my breakfast and was like, oh, I'm gonna see what else is on this YouTube channel. And I watched like every single every frame of painting
Hmm.
video in like one day.
Yeah.
And then I shot my friend Jacob a message and was like, look, I think I'm getting obsessed with this. Who else should I watch? And he sent me Lindsay Ellis, Dan Olson, and Kyle Cogran.
Hmm.
Um, and then from there, the algorithm just did its thing. And I like probably spent like 2 hours a day watching FilmTube for like 6 or 7 months before I
Yeah.
was finally like, oh yeah, okay. Yeah,
You're ready.
yeah. No, not even ready. Like literally before it was like, oh, I could do this.
Hmm.
And I would like to do this. Um, yeah, for a long
Wow.
time it was just like watching them and then texting Jacob. I feel like I need to shout out his channel. He makes YouTube videos too. His channel's a little newer than mine. But Jacob Betts, he's great. He's funny.
I gotta write that down. One sec.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Bets?
Yeah, Betts.
Cool. All right. I'm coming for you, Jacob.
Yeah.
When this is over, I'll look you up. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, like I feel like I just have to like do that thanks of like I don't know anyone who like even sort of knows who I am, like that's like this probably wouldn't be happening if it weren't for him, and I'm like super grateful.
Hmm.
I don't think he knew this was the monster he was unleashed, but here we are.
And yeah, I mean, and you've got some bigger eyes on you. Obviously, Henry, Big Joel, is
Yes.
subscribed to you, I presume.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and
He
but
was like what like I was like my 12th subscriber. That was crazy.
mhm. was he
I
was
was like,
he like as big at the time, or what? Like, I don't know if it was like
um,
early version of him or.
I mean, it wasn't that early. Because it was after Logan Paul.
Okay, yeah,
Because I didn't even find him until after that one. But yeah, I think he was like less than 50,000, but in that number of digits.
okay, yeah, yeah. I'm sorry that like no one's shared your Magic Mike video. Let me just say this to anyone who has subscribed to her and hasn't shared that video. An amazing piece of work. Like, what are you doing? You have the clout, all right? Use it. Use your power for good. God damn it. All right, sorry. That's my yeah. I don't know why. I don't know why I'm like it's just like I'm just so like I don't know why I feel like I have a stake in your channel where it's just like I just want you to be like because you're that good and it's like you deserve it and it's just like why the fuck why yeah anyway sorry.
I would feel weird if it had happened yet. Like
Really?
yeah. Yeah. I want to pay my dues and like I know
Pay your dues. Pay your dues. My God. Whatever. Fine. You can. I
haven't
don't
even been doing this for a year.
No, I know, and it's ridiculous how much you've done in since May of 2018 to now. Good Lord. But I guess I understand. Like it'd be it's just like kind of weird to be like, oh, I blew up immediately on Impact. That'd be I get that, but I don't know. Just you know how much I like your shit. So yeah, I am biased, clearly. So what got you to make Jurassic Park? Like why was Jurassic Park, the first thing? Especially I guess since that movie came out like 3 years ago.
Right.
So like the controversy obviously kind of died down, I think.
Yeah. I think that's kind of exactly why I made it. Like I sort of knew that no one would see it, or like if they were gonna see it, it wasn't gonna be for like a while.
Yeah.
And I literally just wanted to make something and like start somewhere. My initial goal was I wanted to have 3 scripts ready to go before I like made anything. Sort of.
Yeah.
I had I had three second drafts before
Okay.
I like did any of the actual like recording and everything on
Hmm.
those ridiculous shoes. One of those has not been made, and I don't know that it will, because I basically came back to it and was like, I don't think this is good.
Oh no.
Um,
Well, what was it, if you don't mind me asking?
it's about Deadpool,
Oh,
and
because I saw
using
your tweets. I mean, like you showed that you had like the
that.
DVDs. Are you not going to do
That's
anything
a
with it?
different one. Yeah, no, that's a
Oh.
different one. That's on Deadpool 2. Deadpool 2
Ah,
is showing up in what's probably like barring extenuating circumstances going to be my next one.
mhm.
But no, this was about basically just using the first Deadpool movie to explain the difference between like a joke that's offensive because it's denying someone's humanity and a joke that's offensive because like it makes you clutch your pearls.
Okay. Yeah. But you don't
Um,
want to do that anymore.
I just don't think the script is good. I
Okay.
don't know. I might come back to it at some point. I had a thought recently actually about something that made me think it might tie into something different. So it might get used eventually, but
Yeah.
I just looked at it and was like, I don't think this is good, and I think I have other ideas that are better and are going to be better sooner. So I went with that instead.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jurassic
Sorry, but the actual answer to your question,
Right.
this was basically like a rant that I had in my head for a long time. Like it bugged me that people were upset. Like everything I said in the video, like
Yeah.
it was basically just like a thought that I'd had and hadn't had anything to do with because I don't know. I could have written like a Facebook post about it or something. That was a lot of what I used to do before I was doing this. Was just write really long Facebook posts that like five people would read.
Right.
Yeah. But like you said, it was kind of an out of date controversy. So I just kind of never did it. And literally I was just like, okay, cool, that'll be easy. Like I know like it's not saying anything huge, but like I basically know what I want to say and I can knock it out pretty quickly. Won't take a whole lot of effort. And that was my first ever experience with the fact that that's never ever the case. Um,
Did you
like
did you revisit the movie, or were you just kind of like you like like did you revisit the movie to start the script, or did you kind of already have everything you wanted to say in your head?
I basically knew what I wanted to say.
Okay.
I think, yeah, I think I did start writing the script at least, and I might have even had a whole draft of it before I actually went back and rewatched the movie. And then
Did
it was, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna ask,
Yeah.
like, because there's like that video is such good nuance, because like it sort of brings up like how like the like through the interactions with the other characters, like they sort of dehumanize her, even though she still has agency. So like there's the disconnect there, and like I like if you knew that, I don't know if that just
I
like
didn't.
was in your head. No.
No, yeah, that was not part of the initial rant.
Okay.
Basically, I put the initial rant down on paper and then was like, but what the heck is my point?
Hmm.
And like, how do I end this thing? And then I ended up like when I did go back and rewatch the movie, it was like, oh yeah, there's the point. There it is, right there. Um, which is funny because actually, like, I still feel like I mean, I stand by that video. I'm not like gonna say that like, oh, it's secretly bad or anything. But I do think like to me, I know that I made it a while ago in my journey of this because like I didn't know why I was making it other than like I was making it to get something done. And I sort of found the actual point later. And I think I've become a lot more aware more recently of like, okay, so I can just go off on this rant, but like, why? Why should anyone care about this? And I think I have a really different perspective now about like why anyone should care about Clear's shoes.
Yeah. Well, what would you say that is? If you think it's
Um,
different from what you said.
yeah, I like think I really touched on this in the video, but like like the much more interesting question is like, why does anyone feel like they need to wear heels? Like, why does anyone in the real world feel like they need to wear heels? Like, I went in the video with like lots of people like to, and that shouldn't be like a disqualifier from being a person.
Mhm.
But I'm a lot more interested in like if you look at like the workplace she's in, like it's a terrible environment for heels. Like she's walking on the lawn and she's walking on like this like terrible metal stairway that like isn't fully solid and like it's not. So why does she feel like she needs to wear heels? Like I totally buy that this woman is expected to or
Mhm.
feels like she needs to wear heels, and so like why? Like what are we doing in this world
Yeah.
that is a reflection of the real world?
Okay. And I mean, I guess that sort of ties into with your Fiona video, like the like
Yeah.
yeah, just
I only have like 5 ideas, Zach. I just keep
oh,
talking
okay.
about them in different contexts.
Well, that's cool. I mean, keep it coming. I like it.
Those are,
At
I've
least
had
have
my
like
5 ideas. That's all I get. I'm
okay,
never going to have a new one. I'm just going to keep talking about the same ones,
right.
like through different lenses.
Just gender representation. But yeah.
Yeah.
Um yeah, let's see. I'm very good at this, clearly. Um so has your like writing process changed at all? Like your like has your process in making videos changed since you started? I mean, since it's, you've been doing this such a short time, like I don't know how much you've evolved or not.
I don't know that like the bare bones of my process has changed
Mhm.
much. Um, I learned pretty quickly with the first one that like I need to watch the movie a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Yo, I've
so
seen Magic Mike Double XL like 10 times. Like,
yeah,
yeah.
I have seen the first Magic Mike enough that I actually like it now.
Really?
So yeah, like
I
it
rewatched
feels
it.
like
Oh, sorry.
yeah, it just feels like coming back to an old friend. Like I
Oh,
know the whole thing like by
yeah.
heart.
Mhm. I rewatched it because when you sent me the draft, I was like, I should,
Mhm.
just familiarize myself so I like know what you're talking about. And I was like, oh, I don't like this. I don't like this anymore.
Yeah.
Like, 'cause I hadn't seen it since I watched it once, and then I watched the
Mhm.
second one like immediately afterwards. And I was like, oh yeah, that was really good. And then I wanted to talk about the second one without even like addressing the first one.
Right.
So yeah, when I came back, I was like, oh man, this is kind of mean. Everyone just sucks. This is unfortunate. It just wasn't, the fun.
Everyone does suck.
Yeah.
Everyone sucks.
But then it was like I was missing all, like Richie and the other guys. I was missing them. I wanted to see
Yeah.
them, and they're barely in it.
Right.
They're like cameos.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. But anyway, your process. Let's go back to that. Sorry.
Oh yeah, the process. Yeah, I
Yeah.
watched the movie a lot more.
Mhm.
I learned from those ridiculous shoes that I need to do like literally just a fact check watch before I
Wait,
record
did you
anything.
mess something up, or like you just
Yeah, I did. It's a really little thing. But I said, and I think I sort of edited around it the first time that I mentioned this, but unfortunately I mentioned it twice because it's like Claire's one moment, or she has a couple of moments, but like one of her triumphant moments is that she when she like rifle butts the raptor as it's eating Owen's face.
Mhm.
I remembered that she had kicked it, which is like very significant if you're writing about shoes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And it wasn't until I was literally editing it and looking at it on this screen that was like right in front of my face that I was like, oh no, oh no.
Did
And
you
so
like? Did you put something on screen to like make a correction or something?
no, I think uh so what happens is that she like rifle butts it and then she shoots it.
Okay.
And so the first time that I mentioned it, I said something like she kicks it and then shoots it with a trank gun. and I just cut out the chunk of voiceover that said kicks it.
Ah,
So it just says she shoots it with a trank gun. But there's like a little like bump in the audio. So like, I don't know, Easter
if
egg for
right,
anyone
right.
who
If you hear
is
the little,
interested. Yeah.
you know what that
Yeah,
is.
you're not imagining it. I did screw up.
Yeah.
And then, but then, like at the very end, when I'm just listing all of the things that like make her like a solid character, it does say like no matter how many velociraptors she kicks,
Okay.
which is not true. She doesn't. She never kicks a velociraptor. Or it's not a velociraptor. What am I talking about?
A
I want it to
pterosaur of
be
some sort.
the one with the wings. I can't remember what that's called.
I don't remember.
Pterodactyl. Pterodactyl.
I mean, it might not technically be a pterodactyl. You know, I'm not gonna. I don't know any paleontologists, so we're probably fine saying that. But
Yeah.
if someone's being pedantic in the comments, I'm covering my ass. All right, wait. I need to share this on Twitter. I didn't even do that. I'm a bad person. I'm a bad host.
Oh no.
Okay, we're good.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, learn to fact check and watch the movie a lot.
Yeah. Just like literally make sure that I didn't screw up anything.
Right.
Like that.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I mean, Magic Mike is like that, since that's the only movie I've talked about. That's like my only experience. But thankfully, it's not like, as you know, plot wise very convoluted or anything. I don't have to like memorize if she kicked something or like if anyone did a specific sort of action. They danced.
Yeah.
Doesn't really matter how. I mean, it kind of.
Well,
does.
I mean, even like I did keep having to go back as I was writing because I don't usually know what all the ideas are until I write them down. And then I'll realize that like I need more things. So I think the draft that I sent you actually has like a moment where like I'm listing like in the first movie, like Mike is like this, and I've forgotten everything about these movies immediately, like when I published the video. Mike is like this, Adam's like this, and then I put just like Dallas and then like in brackets like rewatch and write something relevant.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. And then big chunks are like delete, and it's like
that one like that I spent that script got reworked more than most of the things that I've written.
Yeah, I mean, because you sent me your draft in like, I mean, sometime in 2018, and then obviously it took till 2019. Which, thank you for doing that. My Magic Mike video is still the best Magic Mike video that came out in the year that it was released. Because otherwise you would have stolen its crown. So I appreciate.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
Mine just has dancing. That doesn't mean anything.
It's definitely more cinematic than mine. You definitely have that.
That's all it's got. That's all. That's all.
I stand. Thank
you. Yeah, let's see. Let's go on to another question. Okay. So, well, that's a dumb question. God.
I give dumb answers.
No, there are no dumb answers.
I just talk around the question for forever and then never answer it.
Well, that's good. I appreciate that because it makes the time go. So what theme parks did you work at? Or theme park or
I actually have added to the list since I wrote that.
Wow.
Yeah, I worked at Universal for
in Florida?
No, here in California.
That makes sense.
Yeah. For on paper a month shy of 2 years, but realistically a year and a half. For complicated reasons. Yeah, and then I have also worked at Six Flags Magic Mountain for a bit, doing very different things.
Yeah, like, well, what did you end up like? What were the sort of jobs that you would do?
So at Universal, I didn't even work in the theme. Actually, I worked on City Walk. I was a cook at Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville.
Yeah,
just great. Yeah. but just because of the way that Universal works, like I did officially work for the theme park.
Oh,
And even though I wasn't working like on site in the theme park, and there was a lot of stuff like the HR building and everywhere where we did our training, or I guess the training was on City Walk, but like things like they would give us like free flu shots and stuff, and like the employee
ooh,
bay, all of that was in like the backstage area of the theme park.
okay.
Like I could, if I would go in and like eat lunch or something, I'd be able to hear like Waterworld going in the background. Pretty cool being like a bit of an obsessive Waterworld live show. Um, yeah, so
Uh-huh.
lots of women in heels and
And
golf carts. That's real.
yeah, right. Yeah, yeah.
I wasn't just
Didn't make that up.
I wasn't just BSing about that.
Right.
Um,
Sorry. Hi Jared. Someone messaged, commented on the stream. We have
Hi,
a viewer or
Jared.
two. He said, "Wasting away with Jimmy Buffett."
Yeah, I one of my lowest moments was I interviewed to be like the tram tour guide in
Hmm.
the actual park proper. And I was like so 100% in like cool like bright shiny actor mode and like
Yeah.
love job interviews, love talking about things. Yeah. And my interviewer asked me like, "Oh, where do you work?" She said like could see that I had like transfer marked on my form. She's like, "Oh, where do you work right now?" I was like, "Oh yeah, I work at Margaritaville, wasting away again." I literally did it like exactly like that, and I immediately hated myself.
Did it help? Did it help
uh,
the job?
I made it. I made it to the next round, so maybe I don't
There you
know if
go.
that's bad,
That was it.
but
They
yeah,
were actually a
it
big
happened.
Jimmy Buffett fan. They appreciated that. So that was the one
Yeah.
thing that tipped you over the edge.
No, the thing that made her laugh was I very deliberately and I knew exactly what I was doing, and I think this was maybe a little bit before like parasocial relationships became like the one thing that anyone in my corner of the internet is talking about.
Yeah.
But if it had been after that, like I would have just like blown up. Because I very distinctly like I cursed and then was like, "Oh my God, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Is that okay? Am I allowed to say that?" But like my interviewer, like she laughed and I was like, "Okay, yeah, cool. I think it worked. It worked
Yeah.
for me."
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Parasocial relationships. That's the hot. You've got a
Yeah.
script ready for that? You're working on that right now?
Oh, no, that's not one of my 5 ideas.
Oh shit.
We've all heard all of my ideas already. I'm just going to talk around them about other things.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw that you were talking about Ollie's video. How do you
Yeah.
feel about that? Sort of his like dialectic about it.
I thought it was really good. Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, like what I was talking about was something kind of unrelated, which was like the idea of
You're talking about the
emotional,
social, or yeah, the emotional labor
yeah,
stuff.
emotional labor. Like,
Yeah.
because I responded really viscerally to him talking about being an actor and that being emotional labor. And I was like, no, it's not. Like needing to not punch someone when they're being a jerk to you because you're a cashier is like emotional labor.
Yeah.
So just like thinking about the difference between those and like how they're both emotional labor and basically one is a realm in which like it's very acknowledged that it's emotional labor and that's kind of prepared for. Um, my my roommate's sneezing. I don't know if we can hear
Bless you.
that. uh, and the other is like a realm where it's just like, oh no, that's not even like a skilled job because you're just sitting in front of a cash register and anyone can push buttons. And like, I
Mhm.
mean, anyone can push buttons, but not anyone can like not completely lose their shit when like
Yeah.
someone's just yelling at them.
Right. Yeah. I work at a library and
Mm.
um, at the like circulation desk, and it's mostly women, and they'll get some assholes a lot of the time, and it's like they just have to keep on that shiny face. And
Yeah.
it's like, God, you get like I don't deal with any of that whatsoever.
Mhm.
Um, so it's like I see it in action, and I'm glad I don't have to exert that sort of emotional effort.
Right.
Um, yeah, and I'm sure there's something to like you could probably talk about a grander thing with like how gender like is supposed to emotionally labor themselves in general and everyday life or whatever. But we don't have to go into that because that sounds
Yeah,
big and
that's
complicated.
that's a whole thing, and other people have said it better than I ever could.
Let's see. So your Hobo Johnson script that felt like
Yeah.
very like a sort of stream of consciousness rant sort of thing, like what you said that your Jurassic World script was at the beginning. Like that sounds like that's what this was, and you just like released it.
Um, I did write it.
Well, I mean, yeah, obviously, like you,
Yeah, I did write it and I did edit it.
yeah,
But uh, I mean, like it did, like it's not a lie that it started from like I got drunk and watched like 3 hours of Hobo Johnson videos and just like went down this emotional rabbit hole on it. Um, and I just like again, it was just, like I just wanted to say something about it, and like
yeah,
on the like posts of the people I knew on Facebook who were sharing that Peach Sconen video and being like, "Oh yeah, this is so great!" Like comments on those posts from like people who I barely ever talked to were like the
yeah.
wrong place to do it.
And to be like, actually, he's sort of perpetuating these toxic
Right,
ideas.
right, yeah, it
like,
was no good. It was,
yeah,
yeah, it was no bueno.
yeah.
So, but yeah, I think that was also like around the time that I had started seeing Jenny Nicholson. So
Mm,
it's funny that like obviously I don't think that video like really is in her style at all, but it was more like I felt like seeing her videos made me feel like I had permission to do something that was like a little bit just like unpolished and just kind of shouting.
yeah, just like talking, just like I had this feeling. I saw this thing the other day. Yeah, like that.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Um yeah, and honestly like I still stand by that one as like I don't think it's my best video. I also like I haven't rewatched any of my videos. Mostly, like
Right.
generally, I post them and then try not to think
Just
about them.
ignore
Or
them.
I don't even try. I just don't.
Mhm.
Yeah. But like in concept, at least, I think that's one of my more interesting ones. Because I was like really distinctly playing a character. Um.
Well, what do you mean character?
Uh. Like I feel like I was acting more. Just in the sense of like getting into this really just like I'm just gonna scream about it kind of space,
Okay. Yeah.
and acting a lot more drunk than I actually was,
Mm,
uh, and really just like going on this journey and like trying to like go on the journey as I was recording it of like, oh, I've seen this and it's kind of cool and I have a little bit of a problem with that, and like, oh, I have so much of a problem with it that like maybe it's satire, and
yeah.
oh god, no, it's
I
not.
guess. Yeah. I guess that makes sense. Like the structure was more about. Like I mean, since it was about your reaction to it. Like I mean, every essay I guess is, but like it was structured. Yeah, your journey through like experiencing his oeuvre, or the few
Yeah,
videos that you saw, where it's like you have to keep up the persona of this person who's seeing it and like kind of like reacting to it as it comes. I guess yeah, that makes
yeah,
sense. Okay.
yeah. I really set it up in a way to where like I as the narrator didn't know what the end of it was,
Hmm.
in a way that I don't think most of my stuff I've done. And I think that's just I continue to find that to be an interesting idea. I don't know if I'll have anything else that it makes sense to play with that with.
Hmm.
Um, yeah,
And I
but I
mean,
still think that's interesting.
right. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of um yeah, it was I like that. I think that was the first video I saw. Maybe not.
Yeah.
But um
No, you definitely saw Jurassic World before I posted that one.
why?
Because I remember, like this is funny. Like to talk about friggin' parasocial relationships. I remember May Leets posting like, I don't know who to watch on YouTube these days, like whatever. And I went there like intending to be like, I make
You?
videos, whatever, and like you had already posted a link to my video, and I just like I flipped out. Like I literally just like squealed and dropped down to my kitchen floor and like
Yeah.
freaked out for like a hot
Oh,
second because it was like somebody I don't know likes my shit, and
yeah.
it was so bizarre and beautiful, and like thank you,
You're
because that
welcome.
was a really beautiful moment in my life.
Okay.
I peaked. I peaked. It's never gonna get better than that.
I'm trying to think how I even found your stuff. Like, I have no idea. I don't know. Like, maybe it got recommended, like randomly, magically,
That,
somehow.
hmm.
But yeah, I don't know.
I have a theory
Mhm.
just based on the time, which was that I think it was probably when I tweeted at Big Joel and then he found me.
Okay. And did he like retweet it or something?
He didn't retweet, but he did reply to like he posted something like I've been doing this for a year and I don't really know what happened or whatever. Like I don't know where that leaves me. And I responded like, well, you're one of the biggest influences on my stuff.
Mhm.
Which was very much true at the time, at least. Like I was very consciously influenced by like some of his rhetorical ideas.
Yeah. Which videos specifically? If you, I mean, the Logan Paul one or other
Oh
one?
no. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. No, I guess it was more like his videos on The Room and on God's Not Dead. God's
Mhm.
Not Dead was the first one that I saw. And then The Room as well. Just like the way that he really like I mean specifically like the way that he'll be like, that's interesting
Mhm.
instead of like that's dumb. Like when
Yeah.
he comes across a point he doesn't agree with personally, and like really just like kind of taking that moment at its word and following it to its conclusion and being like, I'm interested in this, as opposed to being like, that's wrong.
Right. Yeah. It's not like some qualitative like this is a good thing or a bad thing. It's what does
Yeah.
it say? Like, and yeah, like you said, he just follows it where
Yeah.
it goes.
And
Yeah.
yeah, specifically looking at things that like I was very inspired to kind of look at things that like make me angry.
Hmm.
And instead of saying like I'm mad about this, be like I'm interested in this, because that's also true.
Hmm.
And I mean that's like the entire emotion of the Hope Johnson videos.
Right.
Like I'm so interested in this, and it also makes me really angry.
Yeah. Well,
um,
there's a good reason for you to be angry with that one, especially someone who's like sort of seesawing between a persona and like actually being, meaning what he says in his songs and stuff. It's like,
yeah,
just pick a side.
yeah.
Oh, but
But yeah, so that was I like replied to that tweet with that, and then this was the other moment that I just like kind of flipped and like my whole world broke for a hot minute. Was that like I didn't even link to my channel or anything.
yeah,
He like went to my Twitter bio and like saw my pinned tweet with my video in it or something, and then respond like subscribed to my channel, followed me back, and then tweeted like, "Oh, I just watched your video and I really liked it.
yeah,
I'm glad to hear I influenced you a little bit." So like it wasn't like I mean it was down in the replies, but like because I replied and then he replied back to me, like I think that's the kind of thing that still shows up in people's feeds sometimes.
yeah. It does. Yeah, I'll see
Yeah.
people's likes or whatever. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
probably the place I found it. But yeah,
Yeah, because I don't think the algorithm gives a shit about videos with the number of
that's
views
all.
that most of mine have. And especially at that point, like I don't think I even had I had like
You had
less than
5.
15
Yeah,
subscribers and like less than 50 views on that video. Like
yeah.
there's no way it was algorithmic.
How many friends do you have subscribed to you? Friends and family members?
Oh geez, I don't know.
You don't know? Okay.
Yeah.
I've got like a good like 10, so it's or like 10 to
Mhm.
15, maybe 20. So it's like unfortunately most percentage of it is just people I know, which I mean is cool, but it's like, come on, guys. I need
Yeah. I mean I have a decent chunk, like probably a chunk around that size, but I also know like it sometimes surprises me actually when I realize that like, oh, my friends actually watch my videos.
Yeah.
Like I was just having a conversation yesterday where I was talking about it like it was this ambiguous thing, and like two of my friends were like, "Oh yeah," and like the way that you talked about Jurassic World, and I was like, "Oh,
Well,
okay, like that's cool, I guess."
yeah.
But also like, "Oh wow," because I just kind of assumed that like all of my YouTube space is like this separate space from like people I know in the real world.
Exactly. Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, I've brought in people to help, but
yeah.
I don't most of the time like they don't care what I'm saying. Like they like my cousin mostly worked on the beginning and the ending parts of it, and it's like
Mm-hmm.
the middle was just like, what are you talking? Why do you care about Magic freaking Mike?
Because it's a good movie.
Yeah, I know.
It's a good movie, Brant.
But yeah, let's see. Let's keep it going. So in your Kingsman video, you say that you're not in
Yes.
favor of mass shootings. Would you care to explain this?
I'm not in favor of mass shootings.
Okay, all right. Just yeah, all right.
I think that they're bad for the world.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't expect that from you, but all right. So what is like
the need to clarify.
Yeah. I figured I'd bring it up, set the record.
Yeah, it's
straight.
a very controversial opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I know lots of people would disagree with me.
Right.
I'm standing with you.
A lot of incels are probably going to be mad, but it's fine.
I'm out here triggering snowflakes.
But a real question that's related to your Kingsman video is,
yes.
What's your history with movie violence, and like how did you get? Because I think you've done stuff like work and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have more. I'm very sure actually that I have more views on YouTube as a stunt performer than
really
video essayist. Yeah.
Well, please explain.
From one video, I was involved with Deadpool the Musical 2.
What?
It's a fan film. It's on YouTube. I don't know. It was a sequel to another fan film that went like semi-viral actually. Like I saw it before I started working with this team. That it's a parody of Gaston from Beauty and the Beast, but it's about Deadpool.
So like, is it the plot of Beauty and the Beast, or
no, it's just the song Gaston, but it's Deadpool. And it's like Deadpool walks into a bar and everyone's angry and he has like a massive bar fight and just smashes everybody up. Well,
did they sing the song? Okay, yeah.
Yeah. But like a parody version of it. Like, no, I don't remember any of it. But yeah.
So that's the first one.
That's the first one, yeah. And then that was successful enough that they made a second one, which is more ambitious. The first one's like less than 5 minutes long, but this one's like, I think with the credits, it's like 12. And it's four songs. This is ridiculous. I spent like over 9 months of my life working on this thing, and yeah. Well, because stunts came in first, and we were just doing previs for like forever.
So this is like what is this like a production company or just some folks?
I guess it is now. It's just some people who like have money. Like the main thing is the guy. This is terrible. I can't remember the name of the guy who played Deadpool. But like he just kind of had this idea and really wanted to do it and had enough money to make it happen.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, the production value is like really high. It's a very good looking.
I mean, they got stunt doubles, so like,
yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, not just doubles. Like we went crazy with the stunts and stuff. I am not in very much of the thing as it is. I think it is like it's 4. So it's that song from Moana. That's The Rock. You're welcome, except it's I'm Deadpool. And then this one has a storyline because then the next one is part of your world, but it's like part of that team. Like he's deciding that he wants to be on a team.
Wait, this is 12 minutes and there are four
Something
songs.
like that. Yeah, I mean, none of they're mostly like verse chorus
Okay.
amounts of the song.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right. And they sort of like,
yeah,
do they lead into each other kind of like,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. And then it's the first song from Beauty and the Beast is like the X-Men, like maybe I'll be an X-Men.
Hmm.
Um, and then I'm blanking on Disney song names for some reason. The Magic Carpet song from Aladdin.
A whole new world. Yeah.
That one, yes. Yeah.
Right.
A whole new team. And that's the Avengers. And then the final number, which is the one that I'm in, was I'll Make a Man Out of You, and that's him
Nice.
running into Puck and Sasquatch of Alpha Flight and basically just being like, screw it, this is my new team. We're like a lot of weird people.
Yeah.
So I am a ninja in that. I did a lot of things, so there are a lot of scenes which I could not tell you which ones because again, ninja,
Right.
we all look the same. But where I'm like running around in the background or like dead on the stairs or something. But I have one shining moment where I get punched in the face by Captain Marvel.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. But I also like I was part of the previs team and I did all of Rogue's previs and also some other things. But then I wasn't available for most of the days of the shoot because it kept me
Oh.
around.
But was this like your only job doing this kind of stuff?
That's like my most major and recognizable one. Like that's the only one that like I can point people to see it.
Yeah.
But I've done like with the same team, Swordfight Inc. I have done some other like I actually just yesterday was filming a student film, done a couple of student films with them. They got me into Fight Club Live, which was so much fun. It was like a Rocky Horror type thing with like a shadow cast,
Oh.
and like anytime there was like a fight scene on the screen, we would come out and fight live.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, like obviously, I feel conflicted about having done it because Fight Club. But like actually doing it was like it was just so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it choreographed or?
Oh
just,
yeah, yeah.
I don't know if you guys are just kind of like half beating each other up and like throwing each other around or whatever.
No. It was choreographed. It's all
Okay. I don't know why I thought you've done like, not that you haven't done any, but like I didn't know if you had like a longer history with like I was in some other thing when I was younger and like learned how to fight or like I don't know if you have a history with like learning how like did you do sword fighting? I saw you had swords in the one video.
Yeah. The swords have moved now that I have moved. They have a different corner that's not in the frame of my building space.
You should bring it in. You should
maybe,
next time.
Maybe
at least hold the sword, you know.
Yeah, just hold it. Yeah,
your character.
Just hold on to it. Yeah. I do have here on my desk. I have a letter opener.
Ooh.
A sword.
Can you spin it, or I don't know if you know any tricks.
Not with something this small so well. It's pretty. It won't balance very well. Yeah, but I got into stage combat when I was in college.
Okay.
Yeah. And I thought it was just going to be like I guess the story is like your full-time tuition paid for was the price of 16 credits, but you could take up to 18 without paying extra.
Yeah.
So I was like, awesome. What can I do with those 2 free credits? And stage combat fit. And I sort of figured it would just be like a thing I would try. And then I freaking loved it.
Mm-hmm.
And I went on and did I had like 4 SPTs by the time I graduated college. And then when I was living in Ohio, I became like one of the stage combat people in my very small, I mean, not very small, but relatively small community. So I was often fight captain on shows that I would do. There were a couple of things that like I got hired to act for, and then seeing my resume, the director would be like, oh, we just need like a slap here. Like, can you look at, or like, we want to do something here. Like, can you look at this and show us how to do something?
Just a slap?
Kind of stuff. Well, I mean, you really like, you want to make it look good if it's a slap.
Right.
Yeah, if you're slapping someone like on film, I mean, I know that you are aware of this with
Oh yeah, right,
your
right.
yeah, your video. Yeah, so like on film, someone's usually actually getting slapped, but like not on stage. Um,
Right. Especially with makeup and stuff like that. Yeah.
yeah, well, and
You don't
because
want to
you have to do it 8 shows a week. I mean, even if you're doing community and semi-pro stuff, that's more like 4 or 5 a week.
right.
You still like you want to.
Mitigate the slap.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to do like 3 or 4 takes of getting slapped than it is to continue getting slapped every night.
Yeah. Okay.
Uh, and stage slaps read a lot better on stage. They don't read at all on film, but they read on stage pretty well.
Oh, really?
So yeah,
What
I mean, if you do it right.
what is I don't know if you can explain the technique at all through words, but like what's the
Sure.
difference?
Um, so there'll be space between you and the other person.
Mhm.
This is like very good. I'll turn this way actually. So like the person I was gonna slap would be like here,
Okay.
and I would hold out my hand like here, and then just slap like that. And if our audience is over there or back there, then
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
you just align it with the person getting slapped, then turns their face in the right direction, and then based on where somebody's standing, then you also find someone to make the sound
The noise.
and
Okay.
make it look like it doesn't happen.
Right. Hmm. Uh, and so like you would just get paid to do that? Like just direct that?
I didn't get paid for that.
Oh,
I mean, or at least not any more than I
volunteered
was.
to do that? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It was like it. I mean, I had already agreed to do the show for whatever amount of money. I think there was like one show that I did that I ended up making like an extra like $25 because
Okay.
I was fight captain and had done a little bit of choreography. But no, I wasn't getting paid.
Yeah.
But I also never got called in to be like just fight choreographer. I was like, it would be like because I was already there and I knew some stuff.
Hmm. Might as well get you to do it.
Right.
All right, let's see. Someone might be here.
Oh,
All right. Oh, it's my brother. No big deal. Okay.
Zach's brother. Oh, wait.
You probably can't hear you. So, do you? I don't know if this is an obvious question, but do you think any movies like because the Kingsman video was sort of seeing if a movie with hyper well-directed violence can also critique it? Like, do you think there are any good examples of that? Like, have you watched any recently or like before? Because obviously you didn't bring up any examples in the video. I don't know if that was like because you didn't have any in mind or you just didn't think it was like necessary.
Yeah. I kind of wanted to just focus on that one for
Yeah.
that video. I felt like I had enough to say about it that it was enough for one video. I think Drive is one. Drive was probably like the first movie I saw that got me thinking about that. That it does kind of, and that might be another one that might be another video that would kind of be in that series
Yeah.
someday. Yeah, specifically the sound design in Drive, I think is really interesting. The way that it always pulls the music out when things get really violent.
Mhm.
So like instead of like doing that Freebird thing and like
Right.
making it feel really super badass because you've got this badass music, instead it like pulls that away and like makes you actually feel like it's more intimate and you're more forced to deal with it. But it's been a while since I've seen that movie, so I might be talking out my ass, but that's what I remember
Yeah.
feeling when I saw it.
And the violence is kind of sparse. I mean, obviously towards
Yeah,
the ending
yeah.
section, there's a lot, but
It's also like the more crazy car stunts, I guess, is more what I think about with that one. That it's like the crazy car chases, like when they get really destructive is specifically when like the framing stops being so awesome.
okay.
Um, which I think is really interesting. Or at least, again, it's been like at least like 5 years since I've seen that movie, so
Yeah, same.
that's my memory of it anyway. So that's something I might want to go back and talk about at some point. Um, yeah, I think like that's the other one that I think of as like specifically being really critical of it.
Mhm.
Um, but I think it's also just interesting to look at an action scene from the perspective of like what is this saying about violence? Like even if what it's saying is like killing people's awesome.
Right, right, right. It's like it. I guess it doesn't. Well, the point. I guess the question was, does it inherently have to be saying that? And probably, but there's more nuance there that you can dig into, as we saw with the Kingsman video. Uh, but yeah. Okay, let's see. Let's see. So with the Swan Princess video, um, great video, classic video. All
that
of them are,
one's
but
that one's like I that one's really special.
yeah.
Yeah.
So did you like? I guess this is sort of similar question to the Jurassic
Mm.
World one, but like, did you have these ideas in mind, and like, have they been with you since you were a kid, or like, was it something that you were like, oh, here's an animated movie that like I
Oh,
could talk about for this,
okay.
for what Mikey was doing, and then you kind of found out?
Sorry, I lost you there for a second, but I
Oh,
think
okay.
I
Do you want me?
basically understood the question.
Yeah, like, did you have to rewatch it to like figure out the ideas you wanted to talk about, or were those lessons like sort of ingrained in you since you were a kid? I imagine since you said you like broke the VHS,
Yeah.
probably almost like you had seen it enough that it's like just a part of you now.
Yeah, I mean, I do think like that it like I mean, like I said, like some of that stuff, like I do think I really internalized.
Mhm.
But I had so this is part of why this video is so special to me actually, and why I and like so many other little creators owe Mikey Newman like all the beers in the world.
Mhm.
So that was like one of the first scripts that I wrote actually. Um,
So
I, yeah, it wasn't like not as it was.
right, yeah.
But that was so this was again like back kind of before I had decided that I wanted to start making my own video essays. There was a day when I just like it was like 104 fucking degrees in Los Angeles and I was trying to like cool down or whatever. And so I was just like watching a movie in my apartment with no air conditioning, like lying on the floor.
Oh my god.
Um, and that was like the movie that I found for that day. And like I like the whole thing about the what else is there interaction, like basically came up in text messages to my sister. Like me being like, haha, I'm watching this one princess, haven't
Mhm.
seen it in forever. And then like 5 minutes later coming back with like, isn't it great how like nobody tells Odette that she's wrong and like blah 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 and like just continuing to go off on it with like 6 pages of text messages to
Yeah.
my poor sister who then eventually responded with like I think it was literally like all of this is V true.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, yeah, I'm sorry, Maddie. I know you're interested and like, but also I'm sorry for just like throwing all of that at you. And so then when like I had the idea to finally like start a channel finally, that was like one of the things I wanted to do was make a video about that and kind of a feminist revisiting of that movie,
Yeah.
specifically through that lens. Um, and I wrote it and I was sort of like, I don't know what the point is.
Hmm.
Like I think I got like 3 pages down, and was just like, I don't know where I'm going with this. Also, who remembers the Swan Princess? Like, I know I loved it, but like it wasn't even a Disney movie. Like nobody's gonna watch this. So I just kind of like I didn't delete it or anything. Like
Hmm.
I would never delete a script, but I kind of just figured I would never actually get around to making it.
Yeah.
And then like 6 months later, there's lessons animation taught us and this like go make your own one. And it was like, well, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. I already have like half of it and I'm so excited about it. And so it is like it's really special to me that like that is the one that like has blown up on or like my level blown
Relatively.
up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Um, yeah. So I had a lot of the bare bones ideas, but like actually framing it in obviously like what did I learn from this movie as a kid was something that came from Mikey.
Yeah. So I mean, what were the parts that you had like internalized, I guess? Like,
Mm.
was it just sort of like the sort of semi problematic relationship dynamics that you'd seen with like, the sort of how courtship is supposed to look? Or was it like the, Odette being sort of relatively independent?
Um, I mean, it's hard. It's really hard to say because, that's not the only movie that I learned those flavors of lessons
Right,
from.
right.
Like, I'm also looking at like all of the Disney canon and like everything else from that level. Uh, I mean, I can definitely say that like something that I did internalize very much was like be mean to people when you like them.
Hmm.
Um, but again, like I don't know. Like I said in the video, like I think that opening sequence might have been one of the first places that I got that, but like
Okay.
it also just comes at you from every angle. Yeah, but like that was something that I definitely like. There was a guy in college who I had a giant crush on, and he literally thought I hated him for an
Really?
entire semester because I was so mean to him because that was what I thought you were supposed to do to flirt with somebody.
Right. How,
Um,
what did you do? What did you,
uh, like I would just, like in a way that like to me, I guess felt like jokingly like just shut down like I would make fun of him for being a nerd all the time like when we were in class and he was like nerding out hardcore. I specifically like I constantly would like smack him upside the head whenever he did something really stupid like yeah.
hmm.
That doesn't hurt, it doesn't hurt people when you
Okay.
do that. Yeah,
Okay.
no, but yeah, like I'm not kidding when I say like I really internalized that, and that might have been one of the places that I got it from.
Yeah. I mean, did you become self-aware about it once this person like revealed to you that?
That was yeah, that was a lot. That was a lot when we had that conversation. I mean, we just became friends eventually, like
Yeah.
really good friends. But yeah, he did tell me, he was like, I thought you hated me for that entire semester, and I was like, oh God,
Yeah.
I need to look at my life and my choices and do a better job.
Yeah, I've never, well, I guess obviously that'd be weird. I'm on my end of that power dynamic. I shouldn't be, fake hitting people. But
Well, no, but I mean, yeah, it's still like yeah, and I still like my ears prick up a little bit. Like if someone's like, "Oh my God, you're such a nerd," it's like, is
oh,
this fun? Yeah.
yeah, right, right. No, I mean, it's like, I don't know, I guess, yeah, like teasing and like ribbing obviously is like, it's just, it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of easy, I feel like,
Yeah.
um, to just be sarcastic or whatever. Like that's like a, okay, here's my one response. I'll keep doing it and we'll see where
Mhm.
this goes,
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
whereas being genuine is like, oh, that's vulnerable. Just
Right.
kind of shows your
Right.
hand too much.
Yeah. It's a lot easier. It's a lot easier to be like to find your sense of humor with somebody when you're coming at it from the angle of like kind of teasing each other than it is when like you're coming at it from being like, "Hi, I like you."
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if anyone is just like that, but
Oh, I mean, that's now like basically my only move.
is there, earn it.
Yeah.
Um,
I maybe was like course corrected too far.
um,
But again, not until we've been like teasing each other for long enough that I'm like, okay, yeah, I don't know, this might be a good time to do it.
right, to pull it out.
Like
Yeah.
your face. You want to stick that face on my face?
That is, I mean, that's a pretty good line. Like, honestly. Um. Oh, okay. Another question. Sorry to
Yes.
just
No.
awkwardly segue. So why do you like the prequels? And this isn't me
Why do I like the
bad
prequels?
or anything. This is just me genuinely curious.
Yeah. So and this is another thing about like stupid unnecessary gendering of media. I thought Star Wars was a boy thing that I wasn't
Uh,
allowed to like
of
for
course.
longer uh, for a while in my younger childhood.
Yeah.
So I was just dead set on like Star Wars is dumb. It's a boy thing. I don't want to watch it for like a long time. And then I think I was maybe like 8 or 9 when I was in a hotel room with my family and we were just like channel surfing and episode 2 was on.
Hmm.
And that was when I was like, wait, what is this? This is kind of cool. I think I like it. What? And then my dad was like, it's Star Wars. And I was like, okay, I guess I have to eat my words because this looks freaking awesome.
Yeah.
There's like this super cool woman in like these crazy gorgeous outfits and like she's like a badass and in charge of everything and she's great. And then there are these cool aliens and like people with laser swords. I don't know. I mean, not like I didn't know about the laser swords, but it was
Yeah.
like, oh, wait, maybe the laser swords are kind of cool. Yeah, so I just saw the prequels at exactly the right time.
Yeah.
That
And
I
with a very
was
specific frame of mind, like it's sort of like a paradigm shift in your brain almost, it sounds like.
yeah, no, it totally was. And like I was just talking yesterday about the whole stupid decoy storyline in Phantom Menace that like is objectively meaningless and unnecessary and like
Wait, you mean
why?
the like with Padme, like the
Yeah,
one lady who gets blown up in the
yeah,
beginning or whatever? Yeah.
yeah, like this is my decoy. Like, surprise, she's not actually Queen Amidala. This woman we've been calling Padme is actually Padme Amidala and has been the whole time. And like, there's no sense to like why that's happening or why that's the moment when they switch back or anything. But just something about that was like the coolest thing and like 100% my shit with like the kinds of stories that I would like make up in my head.
About decoys getting
I don't
killed
I
in
don't
front of
know
you or
about
something?
like being a super cool like badass queen who like
Okay.
needed to like be protected by like some kind of cool like pretending to not pretending to be someone else and like
Right. I mean,
nobody
you
can
aren't
know my
bad.
secret or whatever. Like that particularly really just was like I loved it and it was so cool to me. So like I think I have the nostalgia goggles for the prequels in the way that a lot of people do for the originals because I saw them first and I saw them at the right time.
Hmm.
And like maybe it's dumb that I saw them first, but like here we are. And like I mean my parents swooped in pretty fast and were like, okay, you like this, but we're like, and it was a whole thing, but it was like, now that you've decided you want to see this, we're doing it. And it was like, that was family movie nights for like 3 weeks in a row. And
Yeah.
my sisters and I were going to make episode 7, the outtakes. We had like all of these stupid inside jokes about like things that must have gone wrong on the set of Star Wars, which were all like ridiculous. And
What?
we just thought that was funny to joke about, like specifically like what if Darth Vader couldn't remember his line on I am your father and kept saying
Oh,
like the wrong relationship.
yeah. What is it? You wanted an outtakes? What do you mean? Like,
Yeah, we were calling it like Star Wars episode 7, the outtakes, and we were gonna like make that was gonna be like our fan film. Not like we actually had any of the knowledge you would need to do that.
okay. Yeah,
But
yeah,
like
yeah.
we had a lot of ideas for like bits that we thought were hilarious.
Okay. That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah,
But
I don't know. I and yeah, I still enjoy the prequels. Phantom
have
Menace is
you,
objectively terrible, but I still love it.
so you've rewatched them recently?
It's been a hot minute, but like in my adulthood, yes.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I just, yeah, I don't know. It's a contentious issue, obviously, as you
Yeah.
mentioned in your video.
Yeah. Although not as contentious now as The
Oh,
Last
yeah.
Jedi is a good movie.
Get that off my channel. This is over. Or I can edit it, maybe.
Don't you
I don't want to get
censor
attacked.
me.
I'm just trying to save my skin. All right. It's gonna call a mob.
Okay. Nobody asked me to say that. I'm the views expressed are Laura's alone.
Or hers. Not.
Yeah.
I thought it was all right. Which saying it's all right is probably too much for most people. So, yeah, I guess I'm courting danger, but it's fine.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we got. So have you ever given someone a lecture? Oh, what?
Oh, hit me with another one of those sweet questions.
Here it comes.
Was filling some space.
Have you given someone a lecture about 42? Have you actually I don't know, someone made the joke and you like were so upset?
It's funny because it has only come up since I put the video up. And a friend of mine who at least knows that I make stuff on YouTube and asks me about it all the time, said something about I was joking about oh yeah, we figured out the meaning of life, and he was like, oh yeah, 42, and I was like, are you just saying that to make me angry? Are you just saying that because it bugs me?
Yeah.
But no, it really did just come up. But yeah, no, it doesn't actually come up all that often. But
okay, I didn't know if you. I mean, I kind of imagined it was just sort of this internal dialogue you had with yourself. It's like, oh, they don't really know, and you're like, well, you should not be so judgmental about that. Or if you actually have in the past had enough rage,
I've never actually gone off on it. I very well may have rolled my eyes or something, or quietly been like, I know that better than you do.
But yeah,
I'm generally pretty reluctant to lecture anybody.
Okay, that's good.
Ever about anything.
At least you don't have not that the problem isn't real, but at least it's not like you are going on comment threads or something and being actually, a jerk about.
Actually, yeah.
Exactly. I mean, I didn't know. I hadn't read the books. I saw the movie a few times as a kid, but I didn't remember much about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 2005, right?
Something like that. That's
yeah.
I mean, I saw the movie first.
Okay.
But yeah, just by virtue of how old I was.
Mm-hmm.
And I laughed so hard at the thing about the sperm whale and the bowl of petunias that I had to stop the movie so I could just laugh and cry for a little bit. Which is one of the few jokes that is ripped whole cloth from the book.
Yeah. Well, so you watched the movie and then your dad read the book and then school? Is that the order?
Yeah, that's about the order. Yes. I may have read it more times in between there, but yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I wish I had more to say about Hitchhiker's Guide. I don't know much. I should read it. I feel obligated.
You should. It is really good. I did reread it as I was writing the script, and it made me smile again.
Did you have to bring the books back to your family, to your parents?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
Do they watch your stuff?
I think maybe on and off a little bit. I know I got a text from my dad after I posted the Magic Mike one telling me that he liked it, which was on the one hand great, but on the other hand, wow, of all of the things that I've made, that's the one that I know my dad has seen and liked. That's a little weird. Not that weird, but
a little
yeah, I think I edited out the one true confessional moment about my personal sex life.
Okay.
But there's some adjacent to that's a little bit oh God, I hope he didn't think too hard about that.
Exactly, right. There's implications. There are
implications. They exist.
Right.
Yeah. I know my grandma has seen at least those ridiculous shoes and she thinks it's great and has sent me one of her she sends me like a card every month because she makes
Oh,
watercolor cards and
oh, that's
sends
cool.
me like a seasonal card and there was one of them that she sent that like she wrote in it like loved your video about shoes
Hmm.
or whatever and yeah that was crazy and wonderful.
Yeah, damn. No one sent me a card about my stuff. Sucks. No,
I'll send you one. How about that?
thank you. I'll send you my
It was
address.
really it was really great when you interviewed that Laura Crone person on your channel.
Right.
She,
Have you heard of her?
thanks for doing that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll send you a
she
link.
seems pretty cool. I'll have to watch her videos.
Yeah, I'll send you a link to one of her videos, really quick over like here. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, you saying that you took out a confessional moment in your video, like what I sent to you that is in your video was
Yeah.
definitely like like that's what I kind of wanted my video to build up to, but I
Hmm.
was too afraid, so
Hmm.
I ditched it and I was like, oh, I'll just go a broader statement on masculinity and like there are terrible people out there who exist who would disagree with what this movie does. Um, but yeah,
Oh.
so
Well, thanks for doing that in my video. Appreciate it.
well,
It's scary.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, it is. I mean, obviously, like, um, yeah, yeah, it was, and it's shot poorly. I apologize again.
Oh, it's
Um,
it's great. My stuff is shot poorly.
no,
There's a big old moment where the frame shifts,
oh, is there?
like, yeah, in the middle of one of my talking head moments, and I was editing it, and I was like, no, what did I do?
Well, at
This
least
is
it was in focus. Okay, the lighting was fine. I just like I had no one to help me with mine, so I was just like, shit, I gotta
no,
just
I like it. I like it. I think it's solid. I stand by that.
thank you.
I stand.
I don't know if you saw in the background. I have the Magic Mike album playing on iTunes actually. For
Oh, I didn't see that. Oh, you
yeah,
left me an Easter egg, and I
yeah.
didn't even notice it. Oh no.
Did you even look at what I did? Did you even watch it? Oh my god. But yeah, and I
I
even like
did, and if I ever get around to editing that blooper reel for
a
you and my
blooper.
other patron, then
Wait,
you're
what?
in
I'm
it.
offered a blooper reel. Let's.
Yeah, throwing your not phone across the room.
Oh, okay. Oh, here's the
I
thing.
mean,
So
that's
I
not a
didn't actually.
blooper, but like,
I didn't watch my part. I skipped over it because I was too embarrassed to watch it. I
oh.
looked at it for a second. Um,
Mhm.
but let's see. Wait. Oh, okay. Patron only behind the scenes content. Sweet. I didn't read that.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, yeah.
I'm not in it for the rewards. I'm in it for the help. You know. But anyway, yeah, I did not watch it, so I didn't see if you put in the phone throwing or not,
No, no, I kept that.
or well,
I,
the
I,
iPod throwing.
yeah, I would have liked to,
But
but just like in there, it was like the only. It would have been literally the only break like that in the whole video.
okay,
So I was like, oh, I love it, and I want it in there, but
you couldn't give
it
me
just doesn't fit. Yeah.
couldn't give me what does. No, but yeah, at least the other person will get to see that and enjoy it. Your
Yeah.
other patron. If you're watching, other person,
Yeah. Hi.
welcome to the club.
Oh,
The two of us.
yeah.
For now, but soon.
Yeah.
Um, but so another question that I have:
Yes.
do you read romance novels? Like, is that like something that you're interested in, or no?
I don't. I want to,
Okay.
especially now that Elise Murray and I are officially mutual parasocial girl crushes.
Does she make
Like,
cold takes?
yeah, cold takes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And that, like, I don't know. I know how I found her. I don't know how she found me. Like, I have no idea. Like, if she found me because I shouted her out on Twitter or like what it was, but it was like such a beautiful moment when we were both like mutually like, I love you. I love your stuff. You're great. Let's be friends. So, I mean, it's not like, I don't know. The whole question of like when you're friends with someone on the internet is wild, but like,
Yeah, it's shaky, but
yeah, it's hit a point with her definitely where I'm like, well, I would definitely read her books.
yeah, yeah.
Should go get her books. Yeah, it was just something I never quite got into, probably because the whole internalized misogyny thing for a long time.
What do you mean? Like,
Just like
girl?
needing to hate it because they're stupid girl stuff.
Okay, I see. Yeah, yeah. I mean, like it I wanted like I kind of this is something that I've wanted to talk to someone who like reads them, like who actually like
Mm-hmm.
has an understanding of them. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's weird that this genre that's like very, you know, bases a lot of its plots and stuff on sort of these heteronormative ideas of, you know, gender roles and stuff. Like how like can how do you read them and enjoy them while simultaneously like I mean I guess you can critique that what you like, obviously, like you can like sort of semi-problematic things, but like I don't know if there are like stories that are more that redeem themselves more, like, you know, the book about the Amish women, like the book, you know, I don't know if you've seen, I work at the library so I see a lot
No,
of
yeah,
romance.
I don't know.
Like Amish people are a big trope. Really strong, like Scotch Irish people, you know, Scottish or Irish people. You know, and like reading the backs of these books, sometimes it's like, this doesn't sound great. This sounds kind of it's kind of bad in terms of, you know, like gender
Yeah.
education or whatever. So I've always wanted to like talk to someone about that. Like why, like how do you do both, or do you just pick the ones that are the least like problematic or not?
Yeah. Well, something, and this is something I find really interesting about the whole discourse around Fifty Shades is like romance, like it's just so explicitly like it's just a sex fantasy.
Yeah, especially that.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like it doesn't. It's okay. Like it's all under the veneer of like it's just what turns you on.
Yeah, this is porn. Like,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
porn, and like it's bizarre to me that Fifty Shades like takes like 50 Shades is like judged on a level with like other fiction as opposed to like
yeah,
with porn.
right,
And
right.
that to me is like just really bizarre and interesting.
Mhm.
Like it's wild to me that that happened. I could probably go on for a long time about like different thoughts about why that might be.
I mean, it's
But
for one, it's probably the best-selling porn object of all time. Like, if you think of, you
yeah,
know, about it like that.
yeah. But just like the whole conversation around how like problematic it is like I'm not going to tell you you're wrong if you're thinking about it on the level of like a book,
Yeah,
but like if you want to compare that to like any porn that's made for men, like I think it's probably doing just fine.
yeah,
And I mean I don't I know porn for men more in like the like I don't spend a lot of time actually watching it. So
yeah,
I
right.
don't actually know. I don't know. Yeah, but I think it's just I don't know, like obviously like signing a contract to like legalize your consent to like anything ongoing in the future is like not good consent practice.
Uh,
But like from the perspective of just like a fantasy about something that's sexy, like I would buy that.
mhm.
Like that if that's your fantasy, like you don't need to necessarily come flying into your fantasy being like, well, but I know that this is only good. Like I guess I kind of think of like any kind of smut as like inherently role playing.
Yeah, okay.
Like I'm not thinking about it like I'm reading this person who doesn't really read a lot of romance novels, but like any kind of situation like that, like I'm thinking about it through the veneer of like this is a sexy story as opposed to like this would be excellent if it actually happened in real life.
Hmm.
Um, and any of the stuff that's more problematic, it's like, well, it wouldn't be if it were done in an explicitly consensual context within a mutually respectful relationship, I
Yeah,
guess.
right.
You know? So I guess that's kind of like how I think about it. But like more, I don't know, do you mean like also like more generally liking things that you think are problematic or
No, I guess
just romance specifically?
I was thinking more about romance specifically, just
Yeah.
because it's like I mean, since it is like, and that's something I've wanted to say like to people. It's like this is just porn, like, and like but it's kind of weird to say that to like the old ladies who check out like 15 copies of romance novels coming into the library. It's like, my brother once said that like they had porn at the library, and they never did, but they actually do, and it's called the romance
Yeah.
section.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I don't know. It's just like, is there a problem with? I don't like
I
when
mean,
no like not that there's anything wrong with it, but like it's it's interesting that no one talks about like I don't know what I'm trying to say.
yeah, I mean, I think it's like it's a problem to the extent that like if there's no other solution, if there's no other offering, like
Hmm.
that's a problem. Like, um, I don't know, like personally, I'm more into like audio erotica, and
Okay.
it's been really hard for me to find any of that that's not like male dom, female sub, and
Okay.
like, um, which is like fine. That's one thing, but like, what if I want something different than that? And like, that's kind of the only thing that there is. And it's like I'm not saying that there's a problem with relationships, but like there's nothing inherently problematic about a BDSM relationship between a man and a woman where dudes dom, woman sub. Like there's that's a thing, that's a real dynamic that exists for people. But like it does feel like it's reflective of a larger stereotype when it's so hard to find something that's flipped.
Yeah. What is audio? Like just a recording? Just like
Yeah, yeah, it's like generally, and this is part of like why I've had such a hard time finding like options, is it's just kind of like independent creators like making and putting it out on the internet.
okay.
Um,
Yeah.
and there, I mean, I guess there's like literotica, but it's really hard to go into literotica and find like specifically audio recordings. Like it kind of just gives you everything.
What is that?
Literotica, it's
Yeah.
like it's like a self-publishing site for erotica.
Oh, okay. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
Mhm.
And they allow like audio files to be shared?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Um, but yeah, when I've only ever been able to specifically find audio stuff when I go in there like looking for someone who I know makes audio stuff
Yeah.
and like going to their page specifically.
Okay. Oh, I didn't know I'd learned this today.
Huh. Yeah. There we go.
Um, and I don't know. I guess it's just weird that like, like we try we're as a culture, or like
Mhm.
as liberal values is like trying to destroy the sort of dominant submissive nature of like gender as it is
Mhm.
like in the normal non-sexual world, but then
Yeah.
out like sexuality is almost like inherently a dominant submissive relationship. I feel like not that like one gender has to be that way, but I feel like that's sort of
Mhm.
the like that's the narratives that we create when we want to get off, because for some reason our brains, that's the way that we get turned on. I don't know why. But yeah, I don't know, I feel like there's a weird really like that's a weird thing to
Mhm.
think about, I guess. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know that like I don't know. Like I think that's a really common way that sexuality plays out. But I also like I'm speaking from my own experience. It's not the only way.
Okay.
Uh, and I think I think I would I mean I don't have a whole lot of like actual knowledge like scientifically or anything,
Yeah.
but like my guess, my instinct is to push back against the idea that that's like inherent to being human and
Hmm.
look more at the way that we're socialized, which is so like and I don't know if it's different for people who mostly do not date people of a different sex than theirs. Like I don't know if that's more different if it's less common in like queer relationships. Uh but like just our understanding of like sex and relationships is just so framed around like this obsessive heteronormative like it's a man and a woman, there's two distinctive roles and they have to
Yeah.
fit into each other. That I think like it yeah, my guess would be that it's more about the way that that socialization happens, and that that's so pervasive that it kind of even spills over into queer spaces. But
Hmm. I never thought
like
about that, I guess. I don't know.
even
Just
if you
like what,
take
oh, sorry, continue.
oh yeah, just that like even if you take gender difference out of the equation, like there's still an assumption that like there are two roles, and
Right.
you might not be the same one all of the time, but like there is one of those roles that you fit into with any given person.
Yeah. I guess just like when you look at sort of like, I mean, BDSM, obviously there's going
Mhm.
to be the tops and the bottoms, the doms and subs, or just like
And the
any,
switches.
and the switches, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
but I mean, they're still
But
doing
you it's one or the other at any given time.
exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, even like, the, like fetishes, like those sort of have like narratives built into them that are like dominant and submissive and stuff. Um, Most of the time, I mean, there's obviously people who are into like balloons and like the weird like inanimate objects, which would be something to look at. Um, Ties this theory.
Learning things.
Right.
Yeah.
Uh, but I guess I never really thought like if socialization has something to do with it or not. I mean, I've had sexual experiences that weren't like in my head. They weren't like about like this dominant submissive relationship. So clearly, like it's not a perfect, you know, like sex isn't just dominance and submissive.
Right. Right.
Uh, but it's pretty pervasive. So it'd be interesting, yeah, to see if
Yeah.
like if how we are socialized has something to do with that. I wonder if there's research on that. I don't know. Have you read any research on that?
No.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
What I would say there's a great series by a podcast called The Heart. They did a series that I found through the Radio Lab podcast. I think it's called No is the series, but it's about like consent and stuff. And in the like last episode, they specifically address the idea of like there does seem to be a pattern where like it's not just about the power dynamic; it's also about the power dynamic being gendered for people who are straight.
Okay.
Like for a lot of people who are interested in some kind of power dynamic kind of play, it's like it's not just about the power dynamic; it's also about the gendered part of the power dynamic.
Right. The fact that they are like a man who is dominant, like that's like there's the intersection there. Like it's not just the
Yeah,
power. Yeah.
yeah, and that like basically just this sexologist ensuring like anyone listening, reassuring, I guess, assuring anyone listening that like just because you enjoy sexual play like that does feel gendered in a way like that doesn't mean that like you were a bad feminist or anything.
Right.
Like it's when it gets out of the bedroom that like we need to start worrying about it really. But
Yeah.
like
Exactly.
anything that happens between consenting adults like
It's fine. Yeah.
Talk about it. Do your aftercare.
Hmm.
Keep an open dialogue.
Exactly.
Get enthusiastic and on consent. And then go wild.
Yeah. Go wild. That's right, folks. You heard it here. Go wild. Well, that's what I was planning to do is get people after this. It's like it's time for a good bout of sexual intercourse. Okay. So,
On the internet.
yeah,
Yeah.
get a cam girl or something. I don't know what your
Right.
people are
Yeah.
gonna do.
I don't know.
I don't know what your audience. Hopefully, your audience comes and watches this.
Yeah.
I should probably do this on
I don't
other
know.
people's channels. I feel like it'd be better. Maybe I'll do that in the future. I apologize, I didn't do that with you.
That's okay. It only occurred to me like today that I was like, I could make a quick video just announcing that this is going to happen because I don't currently have a community tab because I
Oh,
have significantly fewer Twitter followers than YouTube subs.
oh, well, yeah.
But
Um,
yeah.
it's okay. It's fine. Just share it later. Maybe make you do
Woulda,
a
shoulda,
video when
coulda.
it's done. You know, you can make a video.
Oh yeah,
Hey,
definitely.
go watch this now or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah. So what are you working on right now in terms of videos? I know like Deadpool 2 / John Wick. Is that the same video or oh you're breaking up? Okay, you're good.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, I think
Oh God.
can you hear me?
Hello. Oy vey. This is bad.
Ah, there we go. There you are. Okay. Well,
It
oh
was
no.
for a minute there. It was like,
Yeah, I just heard you saying Deadpool 2 for like a full minute.
like just was elongated
Never
for a whole minute.
heard that happen before.
Um,
Sorry, I'm absolutely sure that the technical difficulties are on my end.
oh, okay. It's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, it just started happening now, so at least it's late in the game.
Yeah.
Let's see. So yeah, what are you working on right now? With Deadpool 2 and John Wick sort of being, are those the same video or is that two videos?
Yeah, that's the same video, and it's just getting more things into it.
Yeah. If I can guess, is this
Yeah.
about a woman in the fridge?
Yes, you got
Okay.
it.
Like,
Yeah.
dog. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. So that's what I'm working on now. God willing and the Creek Don't Rise, that'll be out in February. I have I don't want to get like too specific about what's happening when because I don't know exactly what's gonna kind of
Right. You don't have
make
to
sense
set any
first.
dates or anything.
Yeah. But I'm working on definitely this is going to be the year that my series on adapting Stephen King happens.
So
It's
like about like movies adapting Stephen
yeah,
King? Okay.
yeah. So definitely The Shining's going to be happening
Mhm.
sometime in the first half of this year.
Ooh, do you have anything to say on that right now? Like, what are your ideas? Because that sounds interesting.
Oh, I think I kind of want to save it for the video
Okay. All right.
mostly.
I'm sorry.
But what I will say about that one is that one's really special because I think probably the event that kind of tipped me over the edge of like, why the hell am I not making these videos was like Halloween 2017. I read and watched it for the first time and literally like invited my friend Jacob, over for brunch and like made him just listen to me talk about The Shining for like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And it took me a while to figure out what the video actually was, but like it definitely was like it was a few weeks after that that it was like I should make videos about this instead of just holding my friends and my sister hostage while I talk at them.
Yeah.
I should talk at people on the internet who are free to leave.
Right.
Yeah.
Uh,
Um,
so you hadn't
so yeah.
seen the movie before?
No, I hadn't.
Dang.
Yeah.
Or did you watch the TV movie as well, or no?
I haven't seen it yet, but it's sitting right here. I'm going to watch it for that because I
Did
know
you
some stuff.
the triple threat right there?
Yeah,
The Shining.
The Shining, and Salem's Lot, which probably will happen at some point.
Did you buy that or did you rent that?
I bought this. Yeah. It this was like $7 on Amazon for all three of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sneak peek. It is definitely happening. That one I've already decided is going to be out in September because that's about
September?
when. Yeah, well, because that's when part 2 of the movie's coming out. So get on that clickbait.
Exactly.
Call to action. Metadata, search term, keyword optimization, social media.
Time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Strategic #brand.
Right.
Yeah. So that's the one that like I know exactly when that's happening. And actually, I already have my October video written because I wrote it. Like I have a draft of it because I wrote it.
Write so much, my God.
Well, this one it's a much more personal one and like more kind of story timey. I mean, still making a point, but like similar to the Hitchhiker's Guide one that like it's not really specifically referring to any media or anything, and I just I was gonna try and get it out like in like November. I thought I could do it pretty quick and easy. And then just A, my life exploded, and B, Magic Mike just took over everything.
Yeah.
So that happened instead. And I was like, you know what? This is a seasonal video, so I'm just gonna save it for next Halloween. Now I've been around BreadTube for Halloween and learned that everybody is obsessed with it, and it is like really silly not to have a Halloween video. So
yeah,
I know what that one's gonna be. Would that be a surprise?
I'll let you keep some.
Wait, with bated breath. I don't know, the dream that I'm kind of like starting to research, but I don't know, it's probably going to be a long way out, is I have a series I want to do on the MCU.
Oh shit! Like,
but it's it's going to be a 9-part series. They're not going to be like big long videos. Like I think they'll probably come in like around 5 to 10 minutes a piece. Yeah. But it does require like getting a hold of and rewatching pretty much the entire MCU and a lot of notes and a lot of research. So that might not even be like this year.
Right.
But that's definitely something I'm working on.
Does your library have a decent collection of DVDs, or do you have a hard time?
Yes.
Okay.
No, my library has a fantastic collection of DVDs.
And do you have like interlibrary loan and stuff too, so you can like?
Yeah.
That's good.
I mean, if I had to just go to like the branch that's closest to me specifically, then like that would be crazy. But yeah, I have the whole Los Angeles Public Library at my disposal.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I've gotten most of the things that I've written about. But it is like it's easier if I own it. Like Magic Mike, I got this like it's too far away. But I got like one of those like it was like one of those like double feature things that they sell for like in $5 bins. So
you cut out for a second. That's fine. No, it's
fine. For some reason my Wi-Fi just like gets angry with me around this time of night pretty consistently. It's very annoying.
Okay. Well, we'll wrap it up in a second. If you want. But I
I
mean,
mean, I'm
oh, okay. Uh, do you like rip you this is it. You rip movies from the discs, right?
yeah.
Like why do you need to like buy them then?
Um, because my computer is really fussy.
Uh-huh.
Um, so I mean, like that was how I did the Shrek video. Was I just ripped them all from DVDs and then rewatched them on my computer.
Yeah.
Um, but I do all of my stuff on a 2011 Toshiba Protege laptop that is very angry at me for all of the things that I do on it. So like,
Wait, what editing software do you use?
I use Sony Vegas because I
Okay.
got it for free.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's one of I think I talked about that on my Patreon. Like, I mean, it gets the job done fine, but like learning to use something nicer would probably be the goal eventually.
Mhm. But okay, I was wondering like how heavy of a software are you using on that laptop? And I guess yeah, Vegas is like probably just light enough for it to work, I assume.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Sometimes like I'll open help search and it'll crash.
Yeah.
Uh, that I thought I lost like a good 3 hours of work on the Kingsman video at one point because I opened help search and it crashed, but thankfully it had autosaved, so it's
Yeah.
okay.
Thank you, autosave.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and after that, it was just like every friggin' 5 minutes.
You're saving. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I used Photoshop in high school, and that's where I got my addiction for saving. So, yeah. um, but we're
Yeah. But buying movies is definitely it. And then I can also like, I can do things like I did a decent amount of like, whenever I did this with Magic Mike a lot. Like, whenever I would get writer's block, I would just like toss one of the movies in and then sit and like try to write while it was playing,
okay.
just literally to like kind of get in that world and think about it a little bit. So like that's nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't have to own things to use them, but it's a lot easier.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
convenient.
I was like, does she not know the secret ways of?
Oh, of course I
Not,
do.
I don't mean to insult your intelligence, but
Yeah.
I was like, I hope she's up on that. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, um, I guess this will be the final question.
Okay.
Uh, do you want YouTube to like be a job for you? Like, do you want this to be what you do, or do you want this to be a side thing, or like what is? I don't know if you have like sort of larger aspirations for your channel or not.
Um, I would love for it to be a job. I don't think I want it to be my only job. Because I basically had to not work for a couple of months at the end of 2008 or 2000, yes, 2018. I know what year it is. Because I had a really bad injury, and at the time I was cooking, which is on your feet all the time, and I was dancing at Six Flags.
Yeah,
So like couldn't do either of those things. So I was just on a leave of absence and I was on disability. And I just went crazy. Like a lot of it was just like the bureaucracy of like all of the forms I had to fill out to like make everything happen and not get fired for having an injury.
yeah,
Um, but a lot of it was also just like I kind of realized in that moment, like I can work a lot left to my own devices, but I also will go kind of stir crazy. And it is important for me to have something else that is like pushing me out of the house a lot. But I mean, I have enough other interests that like there will always be at least like something that I want to do freelance.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, the dream would be to like get YouTube to the point where like I don't have to do anything. I don't have to do any work just for the money would
Yeah.
be ideal. I
Mhm.
mean, that's also just like that's life goals for I think probably most humans is like just not have any work that you're only doing because of the money, and like pretty
Exactly.
much stick to work that you enjoy doing, and whether or not you like would be doing it if you weren't getting paid, like work
Hmm.
that's giving you something more than just a paycheck.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I guess I'm so far out from it at this point that I haven't like really totally locked in on like, yes, I want to do it. Like as I was writing like my Patreon tiers, I was hitting a point where it was like, I mean, part of it is like so much more money than I'm anywhere close to getting. But like the thought of like, I don't know, if I hit the point where I were making on Patreon like over $2,000 a month, like
Hmm.
that would probably be the time to like make some decisions. And
Yeah.
like, I think I've just kind of set it as like, I will cross that bridge when I come to it. Um, and like, if that at that point means quitting my day job entirely, or if that means like instead just like sticking to it, but then like hiring people to do some of the work or whatever, like I'll figure out what that means as it goes. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, but I would say like in terms of like the way that I think about my life, like this is the thing that I think about as my career right now.
Right.
Whether or not that ultimately means that I'm planning on having it like paying most to all of my bills, that'll
We'll
happen
see.
whether it won't. Yeah, we'll see.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you obviously have the work ethic. I mean, Jesus Christ. Like, yeah, like you said, you've released how many videos in one half a year? One, two,
Well, I
three,
was I
four,
was
five.
pretty solidly on one a month there for a while, and
Yeah, I
then
know. I'm deeply embarrassed about my output.
well, like, yeah, and I mean, I fell off that wagon, and I'm trying to get back on it. Like,
Right.
honestly, this next video that I'm working on, like, obviously I would never release anything that I don't stand by 100%.
Yeah.
But like as I'm writing it, I'm mostly just like I just need to get something out so that I don't stay in this space that I was with this Magic Mike thing
Yeah.
forever. Because like I could sit there and pour over every little detail forever the way that
Mhm.
I did with that. Or I could release a fucking video. So I'm gonna try and do that. I think.
I'm in that space right now, and I
Yeah.
definitely, yeah, I need to get out of it. So I will follow. I need to follow your lead and just do something. Uh, so yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
But I mean, yeah. There, yeah. I'm not gonna put out anything that like I don't think is good. But
mhm. But
um
like you know the limits of your perfectionism, and
right.
yeah,
Right. Which I think I tweeted about this that like it was a subtweet, but here comes the actual adding this video that like keeps showing up in my recommends that's like how 500 Days of Summer gets the Manic Pixie Dream Girl right. And it like kept showing up and I was like that is the dumbest take I've ever heard in my life. Like anyone with a pulse could tell you that take. And I like finally watched it and it was like the dumbest thing that I've ever seen. Like it was exactly as bad as that take sounds. It literally includes the line like movies are made with cameras.
what?
I'm not kidding. Like that line is literally in there. So I was just like, this is terrible. I don't want to talk shit about anyone, but
Yeah,
like that is the video now that like because it has like at least like 50,000 views.
yeah. This is what I'm saying. Oh, there's people out there who do just shit. They just do. Oh, they just say the most basic stuff because they know that I don't know. The audience is fickle and they'll just like go to whatever is like decently edited or whatever.
Yeah, but
And
like this was what I was tweeting about. Was like honestly, like I'm glad. Like I am glad that that video is there and is doing well because like that's the thing that like when I'm like, God, this could be a little bit better. I could tweak it a little bit more, whatever. Like it's just like 500 Days of Summer gets the Manic Pixie Dream Girl right, Laura. That's
that's
out
what'll
there.
get you the gold.
And
That's
a
what's
lot
gonna.
of people commented being like, somebody finally said it. And I was like, okay, yeah, I know I'm doing better than that. So
Yeah. I guess I should hate watch more stuff then.
see, I try not to. Like, I really don't. And that's like, I joked about left tube before, but like, just the idea of like making any kind of response video is just like, I would have to watch that shit.
Hmm.
And like, all of that kind of realm. Like, I just don't want to spend that much time watching stuff that I hate and that
Yeah,
makes
yeah.
me
That's a dark
angry.
place. Yeah. I mean, not that I'm like gonna make a response, but apparently it's good motivation. So
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's like just enough. I'm reading talking about Stephen King. I'm reading On Writing right now, and
okay.
he there's a moment where he talks about like every writer has read that book where they've said, I could do better than that.
Mhm.
Um, and like I just identify with that as like a little bit of a motivation, but like it's not motivation for me to make stuff. It's just motivation to like kick it out the door and be like, okay, it's good enough.
Yeah.
It's never going to be as perfect as I want it to be, or I'm never going to think it's perfect. I'm going to keep finding things that I want to change about it. So it's time to abandon it at least.
Abandon your
If I
children.
can't call it done. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think this is a good place to end things. Yes. Thank you for talking with me, Laura.
Thanks for
Uh,
inviting me on.
yeah, no problem. I was like, why wouldn't I? I mean, I would have done this sooner. But it didn't really occur to me. Also, last semester, I'm still in school, and like it was really
Mhm.
tough. Uh, so yeah,
Yeah,
but
points, man. Like you want to talk about worth, I don't know, like I don't know what your school life is like, but I know when I was in school, like the idea of keeping up any kind of channel or whatever is like there just was not time. So like good on you, man.
I mean, I didn't do anything, so like, uh,
Well, I mean you made that Magic Mike video like while in school, and that is impressive.
yeah, I did, but
Shut up and take the compliment.
thank you, thank you. But yeah, y'all, if you haven't subscribed to her at this point, like I don't know why you're this far in the video, but subscribe to Laura. Links in the description. I'll put them in there once this is over. Uh, Patron her, give her your hard-earned
Yeah,
dollar or two.
give me your dollar.
Yeah. And
Just
yeah,
one of them. That's fine.
just
Or don't. Or like just subscribe to my channel and hopefully eventually I can like monetize a little bit.
right.
That counts. That'll count.
You need like an obscene amount of minutes watched or whatever, though. It sucks.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm so far away from the number of subscribers at this point that it's like that's what I'm focused on.
Yeah, just getting to 1,000.
Yep.
You'll get there.
Yeah.
Or I will die trying getting. I will martyr myself. I will make a video.
I don't think that'll help. And
No.
then you'll be dead and that'll be sad.
Okay.
Don't do that. Please don't do that.
Okay. I won't do it yet until I get tired.
No, don't do it ever.
No.
Please.
All right. Well, I will end the stream now.
All right.
Goodbye, people out there. To all my lovely fans.